Welcome to History. We're going to begin reviewing for our test in our next lesson. We're going to start with some state review. So students watching, you be ready to tell me fast, accurate names of states. Let's have our first girl and boy as we compete girls against boys for our state competition and naming these states quickly. Give me the name of the state that I point to, Carson. They're doing tally points, girls team. Carly will do tally points for the girls, and then Dev, you'll do tally points for the boys team. First state.
Spain.
Hi, both teams may write a tally point next to.
New York.
Boys have it next to.
Connecticut.
Boys have it next to.
Colorado.
Boys have it next to.
Massachusetts.
Girls next to.
Maryland.
Girls next to.
Delaware.
Boys next to. Students watching? Anyone? Carson?
New Jersey.
New Jersey is right. Lexi Presley.
Vermont.
Boys have it next to. Amaya and Josh.
New Hampshire.
Girls have it next to. We'll go on to Kathleen and Asa.
Rhode Island.
Tie both teams a point. Let's travel down to the southeastern corner of the United States and continue with Madison and Jackson.
Georgia.
Boys have it next to.
South Carolina.
Boys have it next to.
Louisiana.
Tie both teams a point.
Arkansas.
Girls were here faster next to.
West Virginia.
Girls next to.
Virginia.
Girls next to.
North Carolina.
Girls next to. Caden and Amaya.
Tennessee.
Boys next to.
Kentucky.
Girls next to. Kathleen and Asa.
Mississippi.
Girls were here faster next to.
Alabama.
Boys next to. Cadence.
Florida.
Girls, well done. Let's take a look at our score. Looks like the girls have 13 and the boys, step to the side, have 12. So girls won by 1. Girls, you may give yourself a silent cheer. Thank you, scorekeepers. You may return to your seat. At this time, we're going to take a look at some of the landforms in and around our world. When I point to the landform, you tell me what you recognize and you see for that area of land. Cadence.
Desert.
Good. It is the desert. Carson.
Oasis.
Yes. Emily.
Island.
Yes. Caden. 3 sides have water. Dev.
Peninsula.
Peninsula. What is it?
Peninsula.
Yes. Anna.
Volcano.
Volcano. Good. Asa.
Mountain.
Yes. This area right here between these mountains. Josh.
Valley.
Good. What do we call this steep area right here? Arthur? Jacob?
Gorge.
A gorge is right. What is this area here? Madison?
Marsh.
A marsh, right. What is this area right here? Gage?
Waterfall.
Good. A waterfall. Well done. Now we're going to review questions from chapters 14, 15, and 16. Be ready to give me fast, accurate answers as well. Think carefully. We're going to have Jacob be scorekeeper for the boys, Madison scorekeeper for the girls. And as they connect those dots with a line, their goal is to complete the square for either the girls' team or the boys' team to see if the girls get more of these boxes completed or the boys. So we'll find out who knows their facts better, the girls' team or the boys' team. Jackson, you'll start for the boys, and Kate, you'll start for the girls. Students watching, I'm ready to listen for your quick, accurate answers as well. Let's start. First question. What do we call supplying water to land?
Expeditions.
Students watching? Anyone? Dev?
Irrigation.
Irrigation is right. So the boys have that first line next to Jimmy and Adriana. How did Benjamin learn when he stopped attending school?
By teaching himself.
You've got it. Next to. What type of school did Benjamin attend?
Elementary school.
Ty, new question. Tell me Benjamin's invention that made watering plants easier.
Irrigation system.
Ty, new question. We'll break our tie so we can get a definite person to draw the line. What did Benjamin make with a pocket knife and some wood? Boys were here faster. Gage and Emily. Tell me what we call the study of the stars, planets, and space.
Astronomy.
Girls were here faster. So girls get to do the next line next to. What do we call an instrument designed to make distant objects appear closer?
Telescope.
Boys have it next to. What do we call the instruments used to draw lines and angles?
Tracking tools.
You've got it. Boys have it. Well done. Caden and Lexi. Tell me the capital of the United States that Benjamin Banneker helped to survey.
Washington, D.C.
Boys have it. Dev and Amaya. Tell me the book that Benjamin wrote that was published and printed. Almanac. So specifically his almanac for the boys team. Next to. Tell me the first vice president and second president of the United States. No? Students watching? Anyone? Emily?
John Adams.
It was John Adams. Girls may draw the line and complete the first square for the girls team. Next to, let's have Kate, Kathleen, and Josh. Tell me one of the branches of government.
Legislative branch.
It is the legislative branch. So girls may get that point. Next to Asa and Cadence. Tell me the English law that made colonists pay a tax on all legal papers.
Stamp Act.
Ty, new question. Tell me the event that brought John Adams his most important case. Boys were here faster, so boys may get that point. Next to Jackson and Adriana. Tell me John Adams' son who would become the 6th president.
John Quincy Adams.
Yes, John Quincy Adams. Girls get to draw the next line for the girls team. And next to, so Una and Jimmy. Tell me the very first capital of the United States.
New York. New York City.
Yes, complete answer is New York City, located in New York. Well done, Jimmy. Next to. Tell me the second capital of the United States.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Girls have it clearly and correctly. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Next to. Who thought America needed 3 branches of government?
James Armistead.
Students watching? Anyone? Asa? John Adams is correct. So boys have that one. Next to. Tell me the branch of government that makes laws. Students watching? Anyone? Arthur?
Legislative.
Legislative is correct. So boys have that one. The next two. Tell me the branch of government that interprets the law.
Judicial.
Judicial is right. So the next boy, Caden, and we're going to pick up with Amaya. Caden and Amaya. What used to guide its decisions? Students watching? Anyone? Emily?
Constitution.
The Constitution is correct. So girls may do the next line for the girls' correct answer. Next boy, and Anna is our next girl. How many members make up the Supreme Court?
9.
Ty, new question. Which branch of government also has Congress?
Legislative.
Legislative. Boys have it. Next two, Presley and Kathleen. Which branch of government has the Supreme Court?
Judicial.
Judicial is correct. Josh and Cadence. Which branch of government also has the head of the branch being the president? Students watching? Anyone? Deb?
Executive.
Executive is correct. Let's have Asa and Adriana. Tell me the treaty that brought an end to the war. Girls have it. Jackson and Una. Tell me the important building that was finished when John Adams was president.
The White House.
Boys have it. Next two, Jimmy and Emily. What war was being fought when Dolly Madison was born?
War of Independence.
Well, the War of Independence is the correct answer. So girls have it. Arthur and Tyra. Dolly and her family were what?
Quakers.
Quakers. Girls have it. And let's have the next two, Gage and Lexi. Who was the fourth president of the United States? Students watching? Anyone? Carson?
John Quincy Adams.
Una?
John Adams.
Emily? Jimmy?
Madison. Thomas Jefferson.
The answer is James Madison. No points. Time was up. It is James Madison. So tuck that away in your memory so that you remember that for later. The next two, so Amaya and Aiden. What do we call the wife of the president?
First lady.
Girls have it. Next two, Carson and Anna. Tell me the war between Britain and the United States over the right to trade with other countries.
War of 1812.
You've got it, girls. Next to Caden and Cadence. Who is the writer of the Star-Spangled Banner? Students watching? Anyone? Adriana? Francis Scott Key. So Dev and Adriana. Tell me what we call elected officials who represent certain areas of their states. Some states have more of these. Some states have fewer of these, depending on the number of people and the size of their state. Students watching? Anyone? Carson? Representatives. Good. And together, they make the House of Representatives. Presley and Una. What do we call the ceremony for the winner of the election to become president? Students watching? Anyone? Jimmy?
Irrigation.
And Presley? It is inauguration. No points for that one. So make sure that you are clear with that word, inauguration. So next two, let's have our next girl and our next boy. Tell me the place where a major battle was fought in the War of 1812. It was where Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner.
Battle of Fort McHenry.
Both of you are correct. Make sure you wait until I finish. It was where the Star-Spangled Banner was written. Fort McHenry is the right answer. No points, new question. Dolly Madison is famous for saving Gilbert Stuart's portrait of who?
George Washington.
Boys started just a split second faster, so boys get that one. Jackson and Tyra. What did Dolly host when her husband became president?
A party.
Yes, and we'll specifically call that the inaugural ball. So let's say that term together, class. Inaugural ball. She did have many different celebrations she hosted. The one for her husband becoming president was the inaugural ball. So let's have Jimmy and our next girl. We'll pick up with Cadence. Jimmy and Cadence. Tell me the building that was destroyed in the War of 1812.
Washington, D.C.
And your answer, Cadence, was?
President's Mansion.
President's Mansion. Yes, girls have it. Next two. Which president asked Dolly to help entertain guests because his wife had passed away? Students watching? Anyone? Carson? Emily?
Thomas Jefferson.
It was Thomas Jefferson. Girls have that point. Next two. So our next boy is Gage, and our next girl is Una. Which country tried to keep the United States from trading with other countries?
Britain.
Right, Great Britain. Emily and Aiden. During which battle was the Star-Spangled Banner written?
Battle of Fort McHenry.
You've got it. Next two, Tyra and Carson. Dolly Madison was given an honorary seat where?
Representatives.
Yes, and specifically the House of Representatives. We're going to pause right there. Scorekeepers, you may return to your seat and we'll find out how many the girls have and how many the boys have. As we count, it looks like the girls have 5, 6, 7, 8, and the boys have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So girls won just by a couple more completed squares. Girls, you may give yourself a silent cheer. Smile when you remember the answer to these last few questions. Tell me the African-American scientist, mathematician, astronomer, and surveyor. Jacob?
Benjamin Banneker.
You're very close. His name would be Benjamin Banneker. Tell me all 3 branches of government. Dev?
Legislative, executive, and judicial.
And judicial is correct. Name all 3 places that have at one time been the capital for the United States. Una. How about Jimmy?
New York City, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C.
Well done. Good thinking. All of those served at one point in history as the capital of the United States. Who was that man who thought America needed 3 branches of government, Aiden? Students watching? Tyra? No? Dev?
John Adams.
John Adams is the correct answer. Now listen carefully, smile when you remember we're going to match the branch of government with the job that it does. Which one makes laws? Emily?
Legislative.
Yes, so when you think laws, think legislative. The L's go together. Which one enforces the laws? Anna? Dev?
Executive.
Executive. When you think executive, remember that word starts with an E. Enforces starts with an E, so both of the E's go together. Which branch of government interprets the law? Jimmy?
Judicial.
Judicial. Remember, the judicial branch is made up of judges. So when you think judicial, think judges. They're the ones that interpret the law. Now, the judges, one of the highest courts in the land is the Supreme Court. Whether it's the Supreme Court or any of the judges, what do they follow as their guideline to interpret the law? Carson? But which one, what do they use as their guideline? Students watching? It is the Constitution, right. Thinking of the Supreme Court, how many judges make up the Supreme Court, Asa?
9.
9 is correct. So we've talked about the judicial branch with the judges following the Constitution and the Supreme Court being one of the highest courts in the land, or the highest court in the land, being made up of 9 judges. Now let's think of the executive branch. We talked about them enforcing the law. Which one, or what do we call the office that's at the top of the executive branch? So the top enforcer of the law is who? Gage? Jacob?
Vice President.
Even higher than the vice president.
The President.
The president and vice president would be part of the executive branch. The highest part would be the president. Now, when we think of the legislative branch being the one that makes the laws, Congress makes the laws. Now, there's 2 groups in Congress. One of them, we talked about each state having an equal number. We call those the senators. They have the equal number. The other would be the representatives. So representatives and senators make up the Congress. The Congress makes up the legislative branch. What is the day chosen to be the birthday of America? It's the day we celebrate as America's birthday. Gage?
July 4th, 1776.
Yes, July 4th, 1776. As Dolly Madison served as First Lady and wanted to help our country in any way that she could, what is one of the things that she is most remembered for saving? Madison?
The portrait of George Washington.
Yes, exactly correct. When the British came to burn the White House. What war was being fought where the British came and burned the White House? What war was that, Arthur?
War of Independence.
No. It is often referred to as America's Second War for Independence, but it also has another name referring to the year that it started. Una?
War for 1812.
War of 1812. So that was the war in which the White House was burned. It was also in this war that we had the Battle of Fort McHenry. What important event took place at the end of the Battle of Fort McHenry, Caden? Our national anthem was written. Who wrote it?
Prescott Scott Key.
No. Emily?
Francis Scott Key.
Francis Scott Key. He was the one who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, and Gaethje wrote it at the Battle of after the battle, or during rather, the Battle of Fort McHenry. What do we call the wife of the president? Arthur? Yes, exactly correct. Smile if you remember this question. What do we call a person who represents a foreign country? Anna?
Representative.
No. Thinking a foreign country, a representative would be from a state within our country, but we're thinking somebody from a different country. Adriana? A diplomat is correct. Students watching continue to look through the bold print terms, the italics, the comprehension checkup questions. Don't forget to review your states as well. You're looking at chapters 14, 15, and 16 so that you'll be ready for the test in the next lesson.